2015年2月，德克萨斯大学的穆迪中心，一位球迷正在认真地邀请太阳队球员凯文·杜兰特来到自己的主队休斯顿火箭。5个月之后，杜兰特通过 NBA 史上最大交易正式加入火箭。杜兰特加入火箭，难道早有预兆？他与德克萨斯有什么渊源？大家好，这里是 Telfair， 我们一起来挖掘真实励志有趣的篮球文化。你的点赞让我不停更新。休斯顿所在的德克萨斯州对于杜兰特来说并不陌生，而2025年2月这一场马刺对太阳的常规赛就在他曾经的母校德克萨斯大学进行，这里是他留下最美好回忆的地方。2006年高3的杜兰特第一次来到德克萨斯大学进行访问，彼时2005至06赛季的德克萨斯大学是全 NCAA 中最强的球队之一。赛季初，他们被评为仅次于杜克大学的全美第2。在校园中，16岁的杜兰特第一次见到未来的 NBA 榜眼拉马库斯·阿尔德里奇，以及未来的 NBA 球员 PJ 塔克与丹尼尔·吉布森。在学校的球馆，这支 NCAA 劲旅与杜兰特一起打了一场训练赛，但是在这场训练赛，杜兰特摧毁了整支球队。在那一刻 ，PJ 塔克就预见到他会是世界上最好的球员。
I knew he was a junior high school that he's the best player in the world. Really? And I'm not just saying it like it's not like Kobe's my favorite, whatever. Like guys,
maybe not at the time, but you knew.
Yeah,
at
it's
some
like
point
he's gonna be
there,
like he's like one of those guys. Like he's one of those guys right now. Like that day, I was like, why is he coming here? He has no business stepping foot on this campus. Like he really a junior high school. We were, mind you, Texas and Duke were 1 and 2 that year. Like we're like high as ever. Like we're like one of two best teams in the country. This kid's coming in. It's like whatever, dog. I mean, he just everything he does right now, he was doing it. He's passing half, and like I remember LaMarcus like standing like feet on the 3-point line. He just like hezzy pulled up. It was so much. It was like I was literally looking at it like, what? Hold on. Driving by guys, dunking, like it was crazy. It was like a video game. Like seriously, nobody could guard him.
但是就连 PJ 塔克都没有想到的是，15年之后 ，KD 会成为自己在 NBA 的冠军之旅中最难防守的对手。他们2人的攻防对决会成为 NBA 历史长河中的经典，这是后话了。2006年 NBA 开始全面禁止高中生球员直接加入 NBA， 于是2006至07赛季无法前往职业舞台的高中明星球员全部选择加入 NCAA。在06届的顶尖高中生中，全美第1的格雷戈·奥登与自己的发小麦克·康利一起加入了俄亥俄州立大学，而全美第2的杜兰特在众多篮球名校中最终选择了德克萨斯大学。
And why Texas? In my opinion, Texas is a football school.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a football state, but underneath all of that is some incredible athletes on the basketball side. It was just perfect situation. And then being in Austin, it was like, the city itself, it wasn't a normal college town. It was like being in a major city, so it was perfect for me.
德克萨斯州的首府奥斯汀是德州最年轻、最有创造力的城市，而 UT Austin 德克萨斯大学就位于整座城市的中心。06年春天，在高中毕业典礼之后一天，杜兰特独自一人收拾行李，从马里兰小镇 PG County 来到奥斯汀，来到这座全美最大的大学之一。
My mom's she left me. I had to catch a cab to the airport, and she made sure I was there. But it was just such a culture shock coming from graduating with like 13 kids in my senior class to having 50,000 students and seeing a new person every day.
到达学校，在收拾完房间之后，杜兰特的第一件事就是前往球馆训练。
And I'd be like, man, first time we met and we went on campus, our first day on campus at UT.Before we made our beds and our dorms, he was like, "Let's go to the gym and work out." Like, and he's been that same way from day one.
德克萨斯大学的主教练名帅 Rick Barnes 教练是整个 NCAA 中最严厉的教练之一。经历了2005至06赛季的成功之后，阿尔德里奇、塔克、吉布森等人纷纷离开球队，前往职业的舞台。只有1名大2球员选择回到球队。Barnes 教练不得不将4名大1新生放到首发阵容。全美第2的凯文·杜兰特、5星级高中达米安·琼斯、4星级后卫 DJ 奥古斯汀，让新赛季的德克萨斯大学成为了全美最年轻的球队。面对这样的阵容，2006年的春天 ，Barnes 教练犯了难。然而2周之后，杜兰特在训练中的表现让主教练 Rick Barnes 惊呼：“这不是最强大1球员，这就是 NCAA 最强球员。”
I don't know how our team is, but I will tell you this: we've got the best player in the country. He said, "You mean the best freshman?" I said, "No, we've got the best player."
但是这名全美最强球员完全没有全美第1的架子。一天，篮球杂志 Dime 想为杜兰特拍摄一张杂志封面，可杜兰特却执意要带上全队一起。最终，5名先发球员一起登上了封面。
They wanted KD to be on the cover, but KD was like, I'm not doing the cover unless my teammates are on it with me.
Yeah, that was
And they ended up putting all of us on the cover of the magazine.
I got that cover back then.
在训练中，杜兰特恳求教练来给他更多指导。
But you know what he said? He said, "Hey, help me get better. I want to be coached."
而在球场上，杜兰特无私的天性让教练组不得不强迫杜兰特来接管比赛。2006至07赛季的前13场比赛，杜兰特只有2场得分不到20分。而时间来到 Big 12联盟的开赛周，杜兰特更是用连续的得分表演为这个赛季奠定了基调。对阵科罗拉多的揭幕战中，他全场23投13中，砍下37分16个篮板。而随后的2场比赛，他又分别得到34分13个篮板与28分13个篮板，帮助球队取得3连胜。第4场对阵俄克拉荷马州立的比赛，双方经历一场3+10大战，最终德克萨斯大学以2分告负，而杜兰特再次砍下37分12个篮板。联盟常规赛开赛仅4场，杜兰特就用惊艳的表现告诉所有人，自己就是 NCAA 的最强球员。但尽管有着极致的个人发挥，在那年的 Big 12联盟中，堪萨斯大学才是最为强大的存在。他们的阵中有多名未来的 NBA 球员，包括2008年的新秀布兰登·拉什、达里尔·亚瑟以及马里奥·查莫斯。1年之后，他们会在4月击败德里克·罗斯所率领的孟菲斯大学，拿下全国冠军。这段故事在我们之前罗斯的球员故事中亦有记载。在德克萨斯大学第一次做客堪萨斯时，备受关注的杜兰特直接进入了不可阻挡的状态。他前14次出手命中了10球，半场就狂砍25分，帮助球队领先16分。但是当下半场还剩11分钟时，杜兰特在一次进攻中扭伤了脚踝。而堪萨斯也随即在下半场打出一波24-7的得分高潮，反超了比分。几分钟之后，杜兰特带伤回到场上，但受限于脚踝伤势，他的下半场仅得到7分。比赛还剩5秒 ，DJ 奥古斯汀获得了一个大空位的3分机会，但是随着对面 Julian Wright 的惊天封盖，德克萨斯大学最终遗憾告负。这场比赛，杜兰特得到32分9个篮板。1周之后的 Big 12联盟锦标赛的决赛几乎是一样的剧情。上半场还剩8分多钟时，杜兰特带领球队打出一波高潮，德克萨斯大学一度取得22分的领先优势。但是当时间来到下半场，堪萨斯依靠阵容深度与防守强度，顽强地追平了比分。双方进入加时，在加时赛中，因为体力的消耗，德克萨斯最终没能抵挡住堪萨斯的攻势，最终输掉了这场 Big 12的决赛。而杜兰特本场的数据也最终停留在30分、10个篮板以及6次盖帽。在风空3月之中，杜兰特与 DJ 奥古斯汀所率领的德克萨斯大学在第1轮战胜新墨西哥州立大学之后，在第2轮败给了拥有尼克杨与泰吉布森的南加州大学，止步32强。而杜兰特也以30分和9个篮板的数据结束了自己大学生涯。尽管只在大学中停留了1年，但杜兰特已经将自己的天赋充分显现。他场均得到25.8分、11个篮板，几乎包揽了所有的个人奖项：约翰伍登奖、奈史密斯全国最佳球员、美联社年度大学球员。但是在杜兰特心中，最难忘的不仅仅是辉煌的个人成绩，这段只有1年却无比美好的经历，成为了杜兰特一生最美好的回忆。
I didn't imagine doing none of that.
Yeah.
I didn't come into the, you know me. I was just seeing what was gonna happen. So like to come in and average that many points, and you know get awards and have so many people know what Texas basketball is about. Like it happened too fast. You know what I'm saying? It felt like I didn't really get to enjoy college because it was just like I felt like a superstar early on. You know what I mean? But I had a lot of fun, and it was one of those things where I needed that experience to help me get to where I am as a player today. You know what I'm saying? Without y'all, like y'all put me in position every game to be successful. Like, and without having a young team around me that were growing at the same time, I don't think, I had that success. Any other school, I don't think I'd have had that success. Texas was the perfect spot and the only spot I could do that at.